Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Alif Tukhar. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Here I talk about Canadian immigration. This video I'm going to talk about the latest IRCC processing time as of October ending 2022, and many subscribers have been asking these questions whenever I upload this video, so I decided to make it clear for once and for all. Thing is that in 2020-2021 IRCC never shared their current processing times, and earlier in this year 2022, in the first quarter, probably March, IRCC started sharing this information. Previously only the service standard times were visible in the IRCC processing times. For example, if you applied through Express Entry FSW, 6 months will be visible in front of you all the time. It was taking people 20 months, 25 months, but it was always visible 6 months. So IRCC made this move, and they started sharing the current processing time, and this processing time is calculated based on previous applications. So for example, if you submit your if you received ITA yesterday in yesterday's draw, and you are submitting your application now you should be expecting the service standard time of 6 months. Okay, this IRCC processing time that I'm sharing with you is for the previous applicants whose applications were already submitted. But keep in mind that 15 months is for PNP programs via Express Entry, but my application was processed within 10 months, like right after 10 months my application was processed. So I kept looking at 15 months, but my application was processed after 10 months. So the newer the application is, the faster it is going to be processed. This is the general belief. But right now the service standard times are applicable to the older to the newer candidates, to the newer applicants. But keep in mind that this video is mainly for the people who are stuck waiting for their PPRs, waiting for the decision on their applications. So this is an important update every week to share, because IRCC announced it in early 2022. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to share this like the summary. Too long, didn't tell. This is a good news for the PNP applicants. Their processing time has increased. It has improved, not increased, but it has improved. Okay, so let's start off with the economic immigration. You see, the immigration level plans that you're going to see in a couple of days, the Canadian immigration backlogs, they are not all about FSW and CEC. No, they're not all about that. Economic immigration is a part of that, of the Canadian immigration backlogs, right? Then there are family sponsorships, right? Then there are refugee claimants, and then major chunk is the temporary resident visas for study, work, and for visit. Okay, and even in economic immigration, FSW, CEC, they are not all. PNP with Express Entry, that is not all. There are PNP programs that are not linked with Express Entry as well, right? So thing is that we need to learn about these terminologies. We need to learn about these trends, so that our Canadian future, or a future of our application, that should be anticipated rightly by us. So this is why it is important to understand these concepts. Okay, so Canadian experience class, the current processing time is 17 months. Obviously it is for the older applicants. If you're submitting your application now, it's going to be 6 months. Federal skilled worker is 26 months. 26 months means a little over 2 years. Now why is that? Because there are still people who are in 2020, they have not yet received their PPR. So that is why you see 26 months, 17 months for Canadian experience class, which, I mean, those people are already in Canada. They're, I mean, most of their documents, like, they don't even need ECA because they have Canadian education, most of them, right? But still Canadian experience class is taking 17 months. However, PNP is taking 15 months, but here's the good news. The PNP programs that are not linked with Express Entry, they are taking 23 months now, which is an improvement of 3 months. Last week, when I shared this video, the processing time was 26 months, and now it has reduced to 23 months. So there is an improvement. There is an improvement in the PNP, non-express entry PNP programs, otherwise known as base PNP programs, right? So federal skilled trades is 47 months, Atlantic immigration is 15 months, and the newer Atlantic immigration program, after March, if you submitted your application after March, then the processing time is currently not available for that. Now let's talk about the second tier, second category, family sponsorships. So the spousal sponsorship is 23 months. Previously it was 22 months. Now it has increased to 23 months. The parents and grandparents is 37 months, which is a very, very long time. I don't like this, because we are now seeing 23,100 new invitations issued, and they are planning to land 15,000 parents and grandparents in this fiscal year. So this backlog for PGP is going to increase, parents and grandparents, so I actually need to do something about it. So if we talk about the new PR card, it is now 75 days. Previously last week it was 65 days. So the new PR card issuance is getting increased day by day, and I'm planning to land in November. So I'll let you know when my PR card arrives, hopefully within these 70 days or 65 days, right? Okay, so now let's come to the TRVs, temporary resident visas. If you're applying for a visit visa outside Canada, it is going to take you 154 days if you're from Canada, if you're from India, sorry, because the TRVs, they usually depend on which country you're applying from. Okay, so if you're applying from India, 154 days. Previously it was 147 days. So there is an increase. There is a growing backlog in the visit visas. That's what we can see right now. PGP, we can see a backlog growing there. Visit visas, we can see a backlog growing there. So super visa is 92 days now. It is again. Previously it was 75 days last week, and now there is an increment of 15 days, and now it is 92 days. Again, the backlog is growing in parents and grandparents, whether it is super visa, whether it is family sponsorship. Now if we talk about the study permits, it's same, 13 weeks, 4 weeks for if you're applying for a study permit from inside Canada. And if you're applying from work permit from India, then it is 16 weeks. Now this is getting better. Why? I'll tell you the reason. Why work permits processing time is getting better. It is now 16 weeks. Previously last week it was 14 weeks. It is getting better because they segregated work permits. Now the priority occupations will be processed in these 16 weeks, whereas the occupations that are not prioritized, they're not even mentioned here. So like you can assume that if your occupation is not in the priority occupation and you applied for a work permit, then this processing time is not applicable to you. You're going to take more than that. Your application will be processed in 2023 when they clear out this backlog of these priority applications. So I mean, this is what's up with work permits, and people are still trying to sell you work permits. So make sure that you check the processing times, check the IRCC website, and see if your occupation falls into the priority occupations or not. Because if it is not priority, the application processing time will take a lot longer. So this was the latest IRCC processing time update with these words. This is Ali Iftikhar, and I'm hoping great things are coming your way.